The best way for me to describe what this life has done to me is that it's drained me dry. I'm emotionally exhausted at this point. I'm even physically exhausted, but I force myself to do things. Like last night I had slept all day because I had stayed up all night just like I did. I'm sorry. This is Sunday. So last night, Saturday night, I'd slept all day Saturday because I'd stayed up all night Friday night. But I didn't sleep like the whole time or whatever, but in any case, I got up at 9 p.m. and decided to clean, I spent over an hour cleaning the bathroom, the toilet. I bought those scrubbing things, scrubbing bubble things, the new kind of thing that goes on purple or goes on blue and changes to white, whatever. I bought that. Remember, I'm buying all the food, all the toiletries, all the stuff for the dogs, everything, all the household cleaning supplies, everything. I'm paying the equivalent of rent here. I'm drained. Anyway, so I wound up cleaning until I cleaned the bathroom for an hour, and then I cleaned more. I cleaned in here, cleaned my room, straightened stuff out. Had to move the bureau back that I had from when I barricaded the door last Monday. And then I wound up cleaning. So I wound up cleaning non-stop till like 12:30 or 12:30. And I stayed up 6 hours because I am anally retentive and obsessive, whatever. And I'm obsessed now with the Netflix thing because it lets you figure out what movies you've seen and you rate them, and then it gives you new movies and you decide if you're interested and you click on not interested, and then you'll never have to worry about that popping up into your suggestions again. It's fun. It's fun to challenge myself to see, oh my god, I saw this movie 20 years, let me see if I can remember it enough and to give it a rating, and I get obsessed with it. I've done it a few times now where I stay up all night doing it, and last night was one of those times because I am still, unfortunately, doing what Donald lived his life doing, staying up all night and sleeping all day. It's not that I want to do it. I want to get out of it. It's like once you're in that habit, then you need to, the night that you stayed up all night, you need to sleep that next day, and then you can't sleep the next night, go up early, and then it never changes. I don't know how you ever get back into the right way that you want to be, but I'm drained. This whole experience, this has fucking drained me. I'm just like, I want closure. I finally got closure with Donald and his mom, except I'm going to live in fear the rest of my life that Donald's going to snap one of these days and fly to Massachusetts and kill me, But for the most part, I have closure on that. I got out of there. I need closure on this thing with my mom, okay? This thing with my family. This thing with my mom's ignorance. My mom's continued ignorance in regards to this power of attorney that my aunt has over her, It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good for my emotional well-being. For my mom to sit there. Oh, I'm sick of this stupid thing. I take it down. We already showed that that's a line. But my mom just sits there, you know, and drive me nuts. You know, she'll say stuff like, yeah, Laura, I do want to put this house in a living trust for you. And I do want to revoke the power of attorney. You know, but you won't do it, Mom. When push comes to shove, you will not do it. You won't even ask Marion for, yeah, I will. No, you won't. The second Marion thought I was influencing you to stick up to her in any way, shape, or form in regards to something you had every right to stick up to her against, she instantaneously, whatever it was about me.
She's a conniving bitch. She just wants power over your money. I'm gonna have her thrown out of there.
Instant reaction. Instant. I mean, if my mom's capable of asking Marion anything, then she has a right to ask Marion anything. I'm the child. My mom undeniably, unquestionably, from day one, this was the case 20 fucking years ago, wants anything, she has to go to me. And while it's true that my mom would not have this house were it not for my Aunt Marion, that certainly doesn't make this house my Aunt Marion's. I mean, it's just... And yeah, my mom talks big, just like, I mean, but when push comes to shove, I get her on the bed, crying and saying, why won't you stick up to her, Mom? Why? I'm afraid of her, Laura. I'm afraid of her. I don't want her manipulating me, but I'm afraid of her. I want closure. I want this out in the open. It's highly likely a judge will not rule in my favor because I have been diagnosed as mentally ill, you know. When I found out about this power of attorney and walked into that courthouse in the summer of 2009, the people at the front desk, they were feeling bad for me, whatever, but they said, you know, file for guardianship over your mom. At that time, I had not been diagnosed as anything, see? I mean, Marion had screamed at me, you'll never get power of attorney, you're mentally ill. She was not a psychiatrist, but whatever. I had not been diagnosed as anything. Now I have. I'll never get guardianship. At the time when they were telling me to petition for guardianship, also I wasn't planning on living in Massachusetts. I never wanted to live in Massachusetts, okay? There's nothing for me back in LA. Nothing. I hate the winter, you know? I hate the winter, but I was forced to come back here. I used to sarcastically say I would never come back to Massachusetts unless it was in a body bag. I don't want to come back with my tail between my legs, you know, having failed it again. So no judge will give me guardianship, I understand that. But I want this out in the open. I want to present my proof and demonstrate to the legal system, legal whatever, that Marianne has not from day one acted in good faith in regards to this. And she uses my mother's continued ignorance, and she also uses intimidation, and my mother's afraid to say boo to her, you know, but she uses that to keep my mother, you know, in line. My mother's kept in the dark in regards to all of this, and my mother's on 3 powerful segments, and she's only getting older, you know. She doesn't remember all the things Marion's done to her and to me over the years, but I remember everything. It's very frustrating, okay? I'm not clean in all of this. I am admittedly not clean, but Marion's no Mother Teresa. She's not clean. She got this power of attorney my mom in a sneaky way, you know, because she was helping my mom with legal matters, and she wanted to be able to sign things and not have to have, you know, sign as if she were my mother, not have to have my mother present all the time, just to be easier. But this thing's not necessary now, and Marion has used that to just... It's just not good. And Marion will say, justifiably so, I haven't taken a penny from you, Mom. You don't have to. Like my brilliant musician X said, you're not going to do anything now. If you have, deceitful motives in mind, it's for the future when something, God forbid, or something, God forbid, happens to my mother. Right now, part of your plan or whatever, if I'm right, and I do believe I am, but it's just to keep my mother docile and be nice to her, and, she won't question anything, and, it'll only be after. But, if you fear, obviously what we learned last Sunday, if you fear for a second my mom might be questioning you in any way, shape, or form, your claws come out. And my mom sits there, and why are you afraid of her, Mom? I'm afraid what she'll do to you. Oh, God, Mom, I'll leave right now. I'll leave right now. She can't do anything to me. I'm gonna fight this, Mom. You're not fighting it. I mean, all I'm asking you to do is just tell the truth. Don't perjure yourself. Don't lie. When you're sequestered with somebody from the elder abuse, or a lawyer that I get, or a judge, or whatever, and they say, are you afraid of your sister? Then you tell the truth. You can say, well, I love her and whatnot, I just want to please her, but you tell the fucking truth. Yeah, I'm afraid of her. She manipulates me. She uses intimidation. She, I'm so exhausted. I'm going to write to my friend. I already told him. I've told him before I don't want to be alive, but sometimes I've felt for a long time that something out there, just wants me to fucking commit suicide. I'm not going to, but the point is not whether or not I'm going to commit suicide. The point is I'm fucking exhausted. Even when I'm feeling the least bit safe or whatever, it gets pulled out from under me, Marion pulled her shit on last Sunday, and then the office woman pulled her shit 2 days later because she witnessed me having an outburst in the store. And she had to go and run and call Marion and say, I've known she's been all this time, but I wasn't, people have told me, but I couldn't prove it, and blah, 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 and I want to. Now my mom is a doctor's mom. My mom's happy that I had that little outburst in the store, because now my mom it was all fate. My mom was planning on, going to the doctor. She got the doctor's note, according to the woman, but the woman told Marion, but remember, Marion's always been my enemy. She's always been on that woman's side. They've been in cahoots to keep my mom in the dark, because it certainly wasn't true that if I came to my mom's instead of going to that shelter, they led my mom to believe I would be arrested. It's not true. The police cannot arrest me. There's no restraining order. You can't arrest me. It's just bullshit, but they do that. They use it, So the woman's going to be furious because Marion was always on her side, and now she's not. And she told Marion that if my mom gets a doctor's note, they legally have to allow me to stay here. So then I should be safe and free, but there's still not closure. There's still not closure. So long as my mother is kept ignorant of her finances, kept ignorant of what Marion could ultimately do to me should anything happen to my mother, then I'll never have closure on this. I'll never be free. At the very least, it'll be out in the open. It'll be out in the open at the very least. There'll be no more pretending. Will the aunt who has cancer turn against me? Who knows? I don't even care, because right now it's all a lie. It's Marion pretending that she's, whatever. And can we forget we ever mean to each other and all this crap? But she showed her true colors the second my mom said boo.
She's a conniving bitch. She just wants power over your money. I'm gonna have her thrown out of there.
Closure on this. I have every right to fight it. Even my mom's friend said now's the time to fight. I told her everything. I even told her about all the money my mom sent to me when, when I was in Los Angeles. $7 months. I'm still Donald's so-called girlfriend. Like I said, I'm not clean in all of this. But neither is Marion. And she makes herself out to be a saint. She makes herself out to be totally clean. And me to be this, I want it out in the open. It's never going to come out in the open because my mom will say, bah, 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 bah. Even when I said, Mom, she didn't do anything. 6 or 7 months. You told her the IRS said you were a victim of identity fraud. She sits on it, does nothing for whatever ignorant reason. I have no idea. It doesn't make sense. But the second she thinks that you and I are going to do it, her claws come out.
She's a conniving bitch. She's wants power over your money. I'm gonna have her thrown out of there.
Threatening you, intimidation, whatnot. So you can blah, blah, blah and say, oh, Laurie, I will. I'll talk to her about getting put in the house in a living trust, and I'll ask her for a copy of the will. But no, you won't, Mom. Because the second you say boo to her, she'll twist it around, she'll get angry, and you'll come to me and, oh, I shouldn't have said anything to her, Laura, blah, blah, blah. We gotta do it. Just bullshit. My mother did not make Marion Durable power of attorney over my mother. Marion did it. She made it a necessity. It's not a necessity anymore. It's Marion using intimidation and my mother's continued ignorance. My mother's kept in the dark in regards to everything in this. And then it just goes along and goes along. But I'm the one who can potentially and likely will get screwed over in the end. And that is what I believe. I have every reason to believe it based on all the fucking evidence I have based on the facts. Get closure on this. I have to have closure. I'm this close to just losing my mind. I have to have closure on this. Let a judge decide. Leave it up to a judge. At least it will be a judge making that decision. A judge. Not my Aunt Marion influencing my mentally ill mother to just, let things go on. What's the word? Quid pro quo or I don't even know if I have the right words. Who cares? I'll make sure I have the right words when I write a thing to bring to the court tomorrow, Tuesday or whatever. Whenever I get my ass over there, I'm gonna write something, print it at the library. I'm gonna write it in my Hotmail, print it at the library, and I'm gonna start it with, I have a tendency, when I get excited about something, my voice tends to raise up an octave or two, and so I'm going to write. I tend to write better than I speak. I get agitated, I get excited. I would rather write this out and have you read it. That's what I'm going to say. I would say, I communicate better on paper than in person when I'm excited, overexcited, agitated, frustrated about something. And I want you to have the facts, and me to stay calm while you read it, and then we can discuss it and you can ask me questions. But I'm going to give the basic facts. I have reasons, strong reasons, to feel that my Aunt Marian has not acted in good faith in regards to this durable power of attorney that she has apparently, since my mom didn't find out about it until 2007, 2008, had over my mother since the year 2000. Marian's notary husband drew it up. Marian's 2 sons signed as witnesses. My mom supposedly signed the document in Marian's kitchen, but my mom signed it because she signed anything Marian put in front of her. It was all so Marian could help my mother, with legal matters. So my mom wouldn't have to always be present to sign things and whatnot. Marian could act on her behalf, and that's all fine and good. Except Marian has used that she's waved it around like it's the fucking whatever. She's waved it around to, my mom doesn't even know all the things involved in the healthcare proxy that Marian has over her. Yet that document gives Marian the power to keep me in the dark in regards to my own mother's health and well-being. She did it to me in 2008. I want closure. I deserve closure in this. My mother's not all alone. My mother loves me. I've never been out of my mother's life. I deserve some answers from Marian. My mom won't say boo to her. I deserve it. And I have the money to fight now. Never had the money in my life before, but I have it now. I'm gonna fight this thing. I'm gonna get answers. It's gonna be all out in the open. It's gonna be out in the open. And we'll see, maybe Marian will simply back down once she has to actually, account for the way she's behaved, Maybe she'll just back down. I don't know. At least to be out in the open. That's my biggest thing. Marian relies on secrecy. She, before she suddenly, can we forget we ever mean to each other and being nice to me? Mortal enemy. She tells anyone she can think of that I've took advantage of my mom. Who knows? She speaks lies. She false truths, not presenting all the evidence, all the facts in the matter of why I did what I did, I deserve to have closure. I deserve to have my mother not be afraid to ask the person to ask anything when it comes to my mother's assets, estate, finances, and her half-sister who has this durable power of attorney. My mom shouldn't have to be afraid of the person who has power of attorney over her. It's insanity that she is, but she sat down my bed and said it. I'm afraid of her. I'm afraid of her. I don't want her manipulating me, but I'm afraid of her. That's not right. It's not right. It's not right. I know no judge would give me guardianship over my mother. I don't want power over my mother's money. I would like to have guardianship because then I'm safe here. I can just stay here with her, take care of her, Believe me, she's only going to get worse, not better. The older she gets. She's already so forgetful. I deserve, but I don't want, if I can't have guardianship, that's fine. I don't want power over her money. I want Marian to not just be able to do whatever she wants and not held accountable for anything and no checks and balances on her and nobody knows what she's up to. Am I wrong in that? Marian will make it out that I'm wrong because Marian uses things like the last Sunday about me, skirting the issue, smoke and mirrors, straw man, whatever. The issue at hand is whether or not my mother is a victim of identity fraud, and Marian had that paper and didn't mail it in month after month after month, did absolutely nothing, just said it, whatever. That's the issue at hand, and I just wanted to help my mom do what Marian didn't do. Like my mom said to her while Marian was busy screaming her on the phone. I was in here going, oh God, not again, because my mom won't just whisper it. She won't be firm or assertive with me. She'll be like, because you didn't do it.
She's a conniving bitch. She's the power of your money. I'm going to have her thrown out of there.
The issue at hand is not whether or not I'm a conniving bitch with the power of money. The issue at hand is that Marian did not behave the way she should have behaved when my mother handed over to her something to handle that was very, very important that Mary should have cared about and didn't. The judge is going to decide this. I told my mom, I'll leave right now. No, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. I'll leave, Mom, but no matter what, I am getting a lawyer. I am fighting this, okay? There's nothing you can do to stop me. I have every right to do it, and that's what I'm going to